There are times when you want to loop an image through an external application. For example, there's a, let's call it a hair here, which maybe Photoshop would be a better tool to work with than PhotoFusion for this task. I'm going to right-click on the image and say Edit. The idea being that I'll open Photoshop with that image in place. I haven't actually told PhotoFusion about Photoshop yet. I have to tell PhotoFusion about where the program is on my disk. It happens that it's here in C Program Files, Adobe Photoshop. So you would find whatever application you would like to have PhotoFusion know about, as I've just done here with Photoshop. And now I've got it in the list of available applications. So now the next time I click and say Edit, I'll see the original application that I had chosen and also the new one, Photoshop, which I've just added. So I'll click that, and now I've got access to Photoshop, for example, to do a clone paint to remove this, let's call it a hair. When I'm done, I simply say Save, Control S in Photoshop. Now when I go back to PhotoFusion, you'll see automatically PhotoFusion recognized the change that was made in the other application and loaded the cleaned up image. And everything remains completely non-destructive. I can continue to work in PhotoFusion doing things like blurring or making it into a sepia tone image as I like. Any change that I make in Photoshop will automatically be re-cropped, sepia toned as necessary. Another way that you can loop through Photoshop or other tools is to export as PSD. So I'm going to do this, test PSD, and I'll render it at 2000 pixels across. So PhotoFusion has created it. Now if I say I want to edit that, I'll just say Explore in the folder where I've saved it, there, and then by double clicking I'll load Photoshop, and we'll see that we've got several layers to work with now. Here's the background, here is the shadow for the frame, which was created in PhotoFusion and I'm now moving around in Photoshop. By the way, it's not a layer style, it's just pixels in Photoshop. Here is the image, and again I can move the image around. And finally we've got the frame, which was created in PhotoFusion and then rendered out as pixels to be loaded up in Photoshop. So if you had 10 frames in PhotoFusion, you would have 30 layers in Photoshop plus the background layer. One thing I should point out is that if you work with commercial content from the store, the publisher of that content may decide to disallow PSD export. They would do that to protect, for example, the frames that they've created, which are custom and are protected when they work within PhotoFusion. So be aware of that when you're working with store content. Apart from that, anything goes. Enjoy.